Iran, officially the Islamic Republic of Iran, also known as Persia, is a country in West Asia. The country of Iran has a beautiful and rich history, and it's one of the oldest civilizations known to man. With this ancient culture comes traditions that have been passed down from ancestor to ancestor and have deep-rooted meanings to the people who practice them. The celebration of Nowruz is probably the biggest celebration of the year for Iranian people, and it's something my family still participates in every year. Nowruz comes with a handful of traditions and rituals that make it such a special holiday to us. These cultural practices traveled from Iranian soil to here in the U.S. with my mother and her family and have now been shared with me and my sisters. Nowruz literally means new day, and it is the Iranian New Year. For the Northern Hemisphere, Nowruz marks the beginning of spring, or the spring equinox. The first day of the Iranian calendar falls on the March equinox, the first day of spring, so that would be around March 21st. Shortly before Nowruz begins, we celebrate something called Chaharshanbe Suri. Chaharshanbe Suri literally translates to festive Wednesday. Chaharshanbe in Persian means Wednesday, and Suri means fire or sun. It is a prelude to the Iranian New Year. In Iran, it is celebrated on the eve of the last Wednesday before Nowruz. It is usually celebrated in the evening by performing rituals, such as jumping over bonfires and lighting off firecrackers and fireworks. In Azerbaijan, which is a region of Iran, the preparation for Nowruz usually begins a month earlier. The festival is held every Tuesday during 4 weeks before the holiday of Nowruz. Each Tuesday, people celebrate the day of one of the 4 elements: water, fire, earth, and wind. On the holiday eve, the graves of relatives are visited and tended. Iranians sing the poetic line, "My yellow is yours, your red is mine," which means my weakness to you and your strength to me, to the fire during the festival, asking the fire to take away ill health and problems and replace them with warmth, health, and energy. Jumping over the fire is symbolic in leaving the past year behind and purification for the upcoming year. Trail mix and berries are also served during the celebration. Burning rue seeds, or as we call it in Iran, esfand, or frankincense at parties on the eve of Chaharshanbe is a widespread practice in most regions of Persia. It's considered a necessary precaution against the evil eye and malevolent spirits, devils, and genies. When the Chaharshanbe Suri celebrations are over, a few days later begin the main event, which is Nowruz itself. The festivities begin on the eve of Nowruz, with everyone fixing their Haft-Seen in their home and all of the family members gathering around. The Haft-Seen is a fixture in every Iranian household, and every year women try to make their Haft-Seen better than the previous year. You're probably wondering, what is a Haft-Seen? So for Nowruz, we make a Haft-Seen on a tabletop, which is also called a sofre. You then make an arrangement of 7 symbolic items. All of these items start with the letter Sin in the Persian alphabet, or S in the English alphabet. This table will stay up in your home for most of the month of March and is a symbol of the refresh that is taking place in celebration of the upcoming year. Some of the items you might find on a Haft-Seen are sabzeh, which is wheat, barley. You can also use mung bean or lentil sprouts, and they're often growing in a dish. Those will symbolize rebirth. Another thing you might find is samanu, which is sweet pudding made from wheat germ. That would be symbolizing affluence. Another thing you might find is seer, which is garlic. symbolizing medicine and health. Seb, Seb is apple, which is symbolizing beauty. And serke, which is vinegar, which is symbolizing old age and patience. The evening of Nowruz, Iranians prepare a large meal and invite all of their friends and family to their home. Everyone eats, drinks, laughs, and celebrates the upcoming year together. It is said that however you bring in Nowruz is how you will spend the upcoming year, so Iranians take their celebration very seriously and often invite neighbors and acquaintances to join their family for the festivities, as Iranians are big believers in karma and doing good onto others, especially during Nowruz. In Iran, the Nowruz holiday lasts 13 days. On the 13th day of the new year, Iranians leave their houses to enjoy nature and picnic outdoors as part of the Sizdah Bedar ceremony. The greenery grown for the Haft-Seen setting is thrown away, usually into running water. It is also customary for young single people, especially young girls, to tie the leaves of the greenery before discarding it, expressing a wish to find a partner. Another custom associated with Sizdah Bedar is the playing of jokes and pranks, similar to April Fool's Day. Now that I have explained the full Nowruz holiday season and the different rituals and cultural practices that help us celebrate it, I wanted to give a brief history of why these practices mean so much to me. Here are some photos of me and my family celebrating Nowruz this year on March 21st, and I will also show some photos of my Haft-Seen that I set up this year. Keep in mind it didn't have everything I would typically have on my Haft-Seen, but I made sure to set one up, even if it was incomplete, so I could keep the tradition alive for my son's first Nowruz celebration. Nowruz is one of my favorite holidays of the year, and it is one that we make sure to celebrate in my family. It is definitely the most traditional cultural practice that we have in my family, and there's plenty of rituals that celebrate rebirth and revival, which makes it very special to me. I hope that I've done a good job explaining why this holiday means so much to me and my family, and accurately described why some of the rituals and practices are in place. They all serve a really special purpose and are something that I will make sure I continue to practice every year, so hopefully my son will begin making these rituals part of his life every year, and passes them down to his children as well. Cultural practices such as Nowruz and all the rituals that come with it are a great way to keep the tradition alive in the family, and are something very sacred to me and many other Iranians all around the world.